there weirdos, it's Lacey here, back with your weekly source of self-love, and today I want to talk to you about how self-acceptance and self-love changed my life, possibly even saved it. When I was in high school, I was miserable because I thought that I was weird and everybody else was normal. If you're interested in hearing more about that, you can check out my info card. So, being in high school, I did everything to fit in that I possibly could. Not even be popular, just fit in. I never really learned my lesson back then. Although, I met a few weirdos that, in hindsight, I think helped me start to discover the beauty of being a weirdo. One of them was a girl named, well, nicknamed Llama, like the animal. I envied her so much because she was able to be weird and original in her own way, in a way that I just never felt free to do. At this time in my life, suicide was a regular, daily thought for me. Luckily, I had a mom who made me promise to kill her before I killed myself, because she didn't want to live in a world where her daughter had killed herself. A little scary? Sure. A little extreme? Oh yeah. A little dramatic? Definitely. But it worked for me. In 2007, I was 18 and I got pregnant. And that'll put you on the outside of a lot of circles real fast. Especially when you spend the majority of the end of your senior year trying to hide the fact that you're pregnant. So I had to get pretty comfortable being really weird really fast. I still hated myself for being weird, but I was aware that it was just kind of a fact of life. Around this time, I also discovered an amazing YouTube channel called the Vlogbrothers. They were both so unabashedly unashamed of being nerds that it made me feel proud to be a nerd for the first time in my life. I believe this was my start to accepting myself, which I think has to be the first step on your self-love journey. Someone who became a really good friend of mine for a few years introduced himself to me by telling me that he wrote effed up smut. At that time, I would have never been able to just come out and say something like that. I believe when I told him that, he had some gem of wisdom like, why hide it? It's what I do. And if someone's not cool with that right out of the gate, then they're not really someone I want to be around anyway. In college, I also met people who started to value me for the little bits of myself that I did show. For example, my nerdiness became a very valuable thing in college, and this allowed me to show more and more of myself to people. Around this time, I started living with my friend Llama. So I had that person who was always so unafraid to be themselves around me almost 24/7. This gave me the courage to start my own business for the first time ever. Balloon twisting. Making balloon animals. Mostly at restaurants for tips. And oh man, if I thought I was weird before, I was a full-grown adult, legally speaking, who was making balloon animals for a living. But I enjoyed it for the most part. So one day, this girl who was just about to start high school came in, and I'm around 25 years old at this point, and so these are kids to me, and I'm not sure where the advice came from or why I said it, but I remember telling these girls to embrace the fact that they were different, and that if they could do that, their life in high school would be 100 times better. I don't know what happened to them, but I do know that as soon as I said that, I decided that it was true not just of high school, but of life in general. At this point, I no longer had suicidal thoughts. Self-acceptance had saved my life. Fast forward about 3 years, and I moved to Colorado, and I started an amazing self-growth journey with some amazing people. They teach me all about self-love and what that really means, and help me find the confidence within myself to be, do, and have everything I've ever wanted. Now, I live in a place that I love with a guy who loves me in all of my weird glory. I'm working on another business for myself and basically have the life that I've always dreamed of. Of course, when you love yourself, you're never gonna stop having goals and growing. So I have some plans, but because of self-love, I know that I will make it no matter what. As always, if you want some more self-love right now, you can check out these two videos here. If you want more self-love on a weekly basis, you can click all the YouTube buttons at the bottom. And if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like. I love you, weirdos. See you next time. Mwah.